First, tape report.
This is Ashley taping report for the day shift on Elmwood. There were no appointments. Labs today were for Elliot. He had an INR. Leanna had a BMP and a CBC. No hair care, no wound notes, no next MD or NP rounds. Baths today were for Elliot. We did obtain his weight. Previous was 170. There's no baths for PM. Falls in the last 7 days were for Armani. He fell on the 17th today. We need to complete that fall follow-up starting PM tonight. For the 3-day box, make sure we're wiping down equipment after use, and we always want to encourage our residents to come to the dining room for meals. Weekly quality focus was wheelchair cleanliness. Today's activities were exercise, but for PMs we have 2 to 2:30. There's a movie night or day, in the clean utility room. 6 to 7 is bingo on Cedar Square. For infections, Carolina has a UTI. She's being treated with Keflex twice a day. That is expected to resolve on the 20th. Medicare for Charlize and Jamie. I wasn't able to get to Jamie today, so if you can complete on the PM. There's no post-admit, no discharge teaching, no one discharging. Sleep blocks are for Howard, Henry, Regan, and Bethany, and daily weights were completed on Leanna and Kristen. For new orders today, Julio had an increase in his lorazepam to 0.5 twice a day for anxiety and restlessness. And Elliot, he had new Coumadin orders with that INR. We're continuing 2.5 milligrams daily with a recheck on the 21st. For report, Bethany, she is doing well today. There was no new concerns with her. She did have a PRN Tylenol for complaints of hip pain, rated 9 out of 10. She was last toileted at 11:02. She did not have a BM today. 30:02, Julio, he is under Sanford Hospice. Hospice was in today to see him. There was no new orders. He was last toileted at 13:01 and he had a small hard BM. 30:03, Carolina, she's a cold level 1. She was on day 1 of the bowel protocol. Her prune juice was offered and it was effective. No other concerns with her. She was toileted at 12:20 and she had a medium normal BM. 30:04, Armani, he complained of chest pain. I did follow that chest pain protocol. I did offer the nitroglycerin in all those interventions and everything was resolved. Provider was updated. They just want us to continue to monitor that chest pain and update again if we're noticing anything. He ambulated 100 feet, was last toileted at 11:45 and had a large loose BM. Ilana, she in 30:05, she's a cold level 1. She had an outing with family today. She did return around 2 o'clock. No other concerns or issues today. She was last toileted at 13:39. She had no BM. 30:06, Henry. He had PRN Tylenol around 10 for leg pain. I did leave a PMT on that just because it's something that he's been having more frequently, that right leg pain. So just waiting on any type of orders or assessment from the provider. He was last toileted at 11:30 and no BM. 30:07, Howard, he's at risk for elopement. He's got that Wonder Guard on the right wrist. I'm always ensure that we're checking that every shift. He was exit seeking today, had some behaviors. I did update the provider via PNT. He was redirected appropriately with that. Family is also aware. He was last toileted at 13:16 and he had a medium normal BM. And our last person, Kristen, in 30:08, Ethos Hospice. She is end of life, just transitioned to that as of last evening. Her family is at bedside, she's comfortable, she's been utilizing her morphine in her Ativan as appropriate. Make sure we're updating hospice if we have any new concerns. The hospice nurse was in to visit today. There were no new orders at this time. She had a product change at 13:50 and no PM today. I do have the ambulation sheet attached to the 24-hour report. CNAs, when you are going to follow that ambulation program, make sure you're looking at your ADL. We really want to encourage walking to and from meals, and make sure we're filling this sheet out. If you are unable to, get it written down right away on your ambulation sheet, make sure you're writing it down on your ADL sheet. For your pertinent alerts, for Elliot, he had that INR completed today. With the recheck, we did get that new date added in. Also monitor him for increased coughing. And also, he had a refusal yesterday regarding his restorative exercise. And family was not updated at that time, so if we could please do that this evening. For your 24-hour summary notes, again, really what I had discussed, so with Elliot, that INR, it was 2.3, everything was appropriate. Regarding our chest pain resident, all interventions were included in that chest pain protocol. So just peek at those progress notes if you have additional information. It really walks through that. To review the education folder, there is a did you know regarding moving the med card, so pertinent for our med aides and our nurses. Moving that med card around is gonna be more efficient, as well as helping reduce medication errors. Reminder, any type of dirty dishes, items, snack bins that are on your units, they need to be brought back to the main units where they're stored. And then also, being in our survey window, just remember there are certain focuses each week that we look at, so very key points to review. Hey Esmeralda.
Hey Ash.
I will have you on group 2 today,
Okay,
and then we'll put you down for your break at 11:30.
sounds good.
You have your sanitizer and gate belt.
Yes.
Great. As far as that equipment, I do have your group 2 items. Get you signed out here, keys,
Thank you.
and then your walkie.
Thank you.
Start with some stretches. Let's start by warming up and just walking in place for a few steps. Now we're gonna go with the side bend reach. One side, and we'll do the other side. Let's do our trunk rotation. And then we're gonna do our hamstrings. Both legs. Great.